Hey there, Mindful Seer people. This is Kristen Giesland, Mindful Seer, coming to you live from the west coast of Florida, Tampa Bay area. And we are now in the middle, right in the middle of the Eclipse series, collective readings for this season of transformation and a lot of intense energy. So I decided to go ahead and share my B.E.I.S.M intuitive development and mindfulness method with all of you so that you could maybe ground and also tap into your higher power's guidance a little more readily during this transition between these two eclipses, which is, a lot of energy is moving. So in that situation, there's an opportunity for us to navigate into new timelines and new experiences, but it can also be disorienting or disrupting. So today we are going to be pulling a card from the Baking Bowl of Belief. This is, I have 3 decks of cards in this bowl, all created by James Wanless. The first deck this is the Sustain Yourself deck. This is all nature imagery. And this deck is collaged, okay? It's got a lot of nature and natural shapes in the deck. Then I have the Voyager Tarot, okay? This is what the DNA looks like sliced sideways for all animals, plants, and humans. And this is an update of the original Tarot. This was created in the 1980s. It was the first deck with melanated faces in it, and it has 12, I believe, significant symbols. It's connected to astrology, geomancy, cartomancy. It's a very powerful deck. That particular deck, the Voyager Tarot, turned out to be like a workout for my spidey senses. I am a 4-clair psychic and medium. And working with that deck, I also started to scry. And when Spirit has a message, it will come through those cards in any number of ways. I am not a tarotist. I understand the basic format of tarot, but I do read all of the cards and do all of my work with the full sensorium of 4 clairs and also mediumistic abilities. That came opened later in my life. I was always claircognizant and probably an empath. I had a dark night of the soul between 2009 and about 2012-13, where I believe 2 things happened. One, my cognitive functioning was diminished because of lots of change and trauma and stress, and my heart was opened. So sometimes that's how it happens. So I do specialize in helping people coming through either a spiritual emergency, dark night of the soul. Sometimes that shows up as autoimmune disorders. So when your body is in rebellion, a lot of times it's because your frequencies are off and your body, mind, spirit balance is just not where it needs to be. So just a few things that you might want to consider if you're watching this. Most of the time, our bodies can heal themselves if they have the proper conditions to do so. But because of our culture, the culture that we live in, our personal habits, our belief systems, sometimes we don't create the right conditions and circumstances, or it's hard to create the right conditions and circumstances for our bodies to return to their natural balance. Okay, so today we are looking at or the intellect or intellectual life. So we're going to be tapping into the divine to find out what our guidance is for our intellectual lives. And this is the system that I have created where we check into our B body. That's also including where we live and our cash flow. E for emotions. I for intellect or intellectual life. S for spirit, soul journey. And M for mastermind. And the system is sort of an expansion of the body, mind, spirit idea, with a little more focus probably in the spiritual area, because so much of our culture really brings us into the lower frequencies, because honestly, if you live in the West, our predominant culture is very capitalistic focused. So I don't have a huge problem with that, other than we are spiritual beings having a human experience, or human beings having a spiritual experience, however you want to frame it. And we need more sometimes than what that lifestyle can offer us to stay in balance and to really thrive. So, I'm a lifelong practitioner of meditation and yoga. I took refuge as a Buddhist when I was 27, and I have really feel that to a large extent my spidey sense skills come out of awareness, basically, just a lot of time spent in meditation, and also the aspirative wish, the bodhisattva vow to assist others, to keep working to raise the frequency until everyone is free from suffering. Okay, so today we're going to pull the I card, and there's one more deck in here. This little deck here, this is the Just Do It deck. I call it that. It's actually called the White Squirrel deck. And interestingly, I always like to see what the bonus card is, because this is not the Intellect card. But this says no and set boundaries. And probably many people are caught up in lifestyles where they don't really have the time and space to do the internal reflection required to, raise their vibration or to maintain it. Sometimes we have to say no to things in the outer to be able to really cultivate the inner life. Okay, so now I'm going to go in for the I. What does Spirit want for us to be aware of as a collective? This reading is for the collective. Today, this is September 24th, right in the middle of the two eclipses. The eclipse of the sun is going to be a partial eclipse. It's not a full eclipse, but nonetheless, it still has the astrological impact of an eclipse. Okay. Oh, we're getting a Sustain Yourself card. Awesome. Okay, we've had a lot of these cards come out of the deck. Okay, so we're getting Vision and Eagle. Oh, how beautiful. Look at how, we know that the eagle flies very high and very far and is often soaring without a lot of effort. So to me, this is saying, we really can use our intellects in a positive way to create vision for ourselves and for others. And, sometimes it takes, many decades of an intentional focus to transform challenges. So, right now we're in a political season, and each of the main two parties wants to blame the other one for our troubles. And, frankly, a lot of things that are happening, have roots and origins that go back hundreds of years. And it's really time for all of us to try to go up a little bit higher and get a better view of what we would like to have for the future for ourselves. The intellect in Buddhism is treated like a sense. And so the intellect can be hungry for more than is necessary or even needed. Just like your tongue can want more sugar, or your eyes can want more beauty and you spend too much on a fancy purse or something. So the intellect can get over energized and cause anxiety, fear, worry, because of intrusive thoughts that we ride. So we want to embrace and appreciate everything the intellect can do for us. It helps us with our linear, sequential, our planning, which is so valuable, and having vision. Okay, so vision, is sort of a higher level function, I would say, of the intellect. It's sort of, I would say, where your intellect actually starts tapping into the higher levels, your soul level and your mastermind level. But we do need the intellect to implement anything that comes to us, through the higher energies to actually make it happen. Okay, like this morning, I'm like, okay, I want to get this up by 9 a.m. That means I've got to get, my coffee in and get in front of that camera right away. So, that's my intellect helping me, kind of stay in a structured process. And we all need that, because otherwise there's a lot of distractions and we might not end up doing the things that really would move our vision forward. I also feel, yesterday's card was collaborate. And I think it was yesterday or the day before. And yeah, it was yesterday, collaborate. And so, if we're going to create good collaborations, we also have to have personal vision, because our personal vision helps us know who to collaborate with. If we know what our personal vision is, how we want to be living our lives, then it's easier to know who to collaborate with. And sometimes for me, it takes stepping away from my daily activities to get vision. When I'm not sure exactly where I want to go or what's really alive in me, if I take a couple days and go someplace and just stop doing the regular activities of daily living it can help me sort of identify, what is most actively alive in me in terms of what I'm now wanting to create or what's coming through. Ideas may rearrange themselves in new ways. So holding that eagle eye, that also to me speaks to seeing things, both the positive and negative, from a higher viewpoint and not being caught up in the shenanigans of daily life. We know that sometimes things go our way, other times they don't go our way. But if we can maintain some centering and focus on our values and what's healthy for us, while we're doing those things. So last week I had a small fender bender, but I'm like, okay, that's fine. Those things are falling into place. I have the rental car, keep moving. I have things I want to accomplish. And this week we're having a hurricane. So, sometimes that's how it is. But I am doing what I can to maintain my focus on the vision of getting this Eclipse series out to all of you and the other following up things, to make sure some people actually get a chance to take a look at this Eclipse series before we're finishing up the eclipse. So here I am, Kristen Giesland, Mindful Seer. Thanks for listening. And I am available for private sessions, and I am starting 2 groups. One is going to be for seekers, and the other for sages who are interested in delving deeper into their own personal awareness process, self-care, sovereignty, intuitive development, and mindfulness. So keep a look on my Facebook page as Mindful Seer, and my website is also mindfulseer.com. And I'm feeling like a bonus card. Okay, sometimes Spirit just prompts me to pull some kind of a bonus. Usually at the end of all readings, I ask Spirit, okay, is there anything else? And, oh, risk. Okay, that's funny. All right, I'm being encouraged to take a risk. You're being encouraged to take a risk. Go out on a limb, believe in you. Okay, so whatever it is that your vision has been sort of, something that's you've been imagining kind of vaguely that you'd like to create or you'd like to do, or something that's been on your heart, do something in the next few days to take a risk to move toward that vision, whatever it may be. Take a risk. Okay, everybody, peace and happy. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to do the soul card.